Broussard now coming to the show. So I watched the spectacle in Los Angeles. Full disclosure, I was not. Christine went to the dunk stuff and the skill stuff. You went to the, I'm sure you went to the weekend and you were all your sourcing there. Okay, so let's just start with this. The recruiting thing, the Lakers wanted to make L.A. feel big, and Paul George and LeBron. What did you make? Doug Gottlieb said, Kobe going out, challenging Paul George's manhood. You know, if you got to be recruited, you're not a Laker. That in itself was a recruiting tool.
I don't think that strategy will work.
You don't?
I mean, it might work. Paul George wants to be a Laker because he grew up idolizing Magic and Kobe and this team. But I think in the past that the Lakers have tried to just be like, we're the Lakers. Look at our history. That's what they did with LaMarcus Aldridge.
Right.
You know, Hollywood, you want to be in L.A. And he's like, okay, tell me about basketball. Tell me about how we're going to win.
Right.
And, I mean, the Lakers have been the Lakers. They were actually closer to the great history a few years ago. Did it help with Carmelo Anthony? No. And that's when people wanted Carmelo, when he was in his prime.
Right.
Did it help with Russell Westbrook? I mean, they didn't recruit him, but Westbrook could have been a free agent and gone to the Lakers. He decided to stay in Oklahoma City. I think some players will buy into the, I want to play for this great franchise, but most won't. Like Boston's got a storied history too. Do they have a great history with franchise or free agents?
Not really.
Chicago, after Jordan turned them into a dynasty, they didn't. I mean, players, look, you don't have to be in Los Angeles or New York anymore to be huge.
Nor do you have to fly first class to get from New York to L.A., but it does make it better.
No, I mean, some people will want to play for the Lakers. But I think you need, the way you need to work with free agents is to impress them with your basketball plan. And I think Rob Pelinka's smart enough to know that.
Yeah.
But that's what's going to get guys like, how are we going to win? Not just, it's LA or we're the Lakers. We got this great history. That's not going to do it. It's going to have to be an intelligent plan that you put before the players.
Speaking of that, LeBron James, Laura Ingraham, my takeaway was, in America, LeBron really is the ultimate dream. He comes from not great opportunity and creates iconic stature. That is, a lot of us kids, I include myself, you come from divorces. You come from poor. You come from broken families. That's incredibly relatable. Yeah. That is a voice I need to hear. What is not relatable to me is I'm a trust fund kid. I went to a prep school. I majored in poli-sci at Yale, and then my dad's influence got me to be a senator in Connecticut. Okay, that story is being told every day. It's called The American Government, Wall Street, Corporate America. The story that we don't hear enough is I grew up in 8 apartments and ended up being the most powerful athlete in American history. So my first takeaway on Laura Ingraham was, no. The LeBron voice is uniquely American. There is no royal family here. You know, you look around the globe, Chris, my mom grew up in England. That's a royal family. You weren't born into it? You were in trouble. So that was my takeaway. African-American, were you deeply bothered by it? Did you think there was racial tinging to it, coding? Did it bother you?
Yeah, I think there are several things. Number one, I do love LeBron's more than an athlete motto that he kind of put out on Instagram, and that's what the uninterrupted, that's one thing they have as their motto. Because there are a lot of African-American boys are growing up feeling like they really can only play sports.
Right.
You know, Biggie in his song was that you got a wicked jump shot or you can sell crack rock. Like they think that's their only options. And so for the best athlete in the world to be saying, there's more to life than sports.
Right.
You know, there are many other important things and other things you should do with your life and can do with your life outside of sports, especially one who did grow up in poverty. I think that's a huge statement to African-American boys. As far as the racial tension of what she said, whether or not she understood what she was saying, I don't know. I know she's told, Barbara Streisand and the Dixie Chicks to just shut up and sing.
Yeah, that was her. She wrote a book called Shut Up and Sing, which attacked basically Hollywood and actors for talking politics.
Okay, so maybe she didn't mean it in a racist way.
But it landed that way.
It was because, historically, in the early 20th century and into the middle of the 20th century, there were many African Americans that didn't feel like blacks should play sports or sing music, entertain white people and play sports to entertain white people. Because during slavery, when obviously our humanity was denied by white people, they would have the slaves do foot races and boxing matches and wrestling matches for the entertainment of whites. They put money on it and all that stuff.
It's sensitive.
Yeah, even as they're denying the humanity of blacks. And obviously they'd have the slaves sing for them and dance for them. So a lot of blacks felt like we're not doing that to entertain white people. So when she says just shut up and dribble,
that lands
that's exactly what, it's
in your community.
Yes, complete. And it should land that way in all of America. But the problem is Laura Ingraham and many Americans don't know true American history. They know white American history and from a white perspective, but they don't understand what all Americans, African Americans, Native Americans have experienced and gone through. If Laura Ingraham had been taught true American history, black, white, Indian, all of that, she probably would have known better than to say that about a black athlete. But that's one of the reasons I think we still have so much racial tension and problems in this country, is because we aren't taught true American history.
Chris Broussard is joining us. So I said yesterday, now people think I'm obsessed with LeBron. And what I am, I always tell people, is frustrated with the American coverage of basketball. It frustrates me. We don't understand what value means. Okay, so LeBron James, this All-Star game was in peril. It was embarrassing last year. I grew up watching the NBA All-Star game. Last year was garbage. Nobody played.
The last 4 or 5 years were unwatchable.
Embarrassing. So Adam Silver literally says, we got to tweak this thing because it's becoming the Pro Bowl. It's an eyesore for the league. And so they tweak it. But that didn't change the game yesterday. What changed the game to me was LeBron's like, time out. We're going to play some occasional defense here. And everybody started following LeBron. That last 7-8 minutes, Chris?
That was good.
That was basketball.
I have not seen,
in years.
Yeah, I used to feel like the All-Star game was good up until about 5 or 6 years ago. And so, but still, even those years it was good, I didn't see defense like this in the last moment. You saw guys, hard fouls, contesting shots in the paint. It got intense, which was great.
It was
because the talent on the floor was astronomical.
Did it get great because Westbrook? Did it get great because Harden? It got great because LeBron said,
I agree.
Fellas, this weekend, our game, this All-Star weekend, which, by the way, I've heard African Americans call it Black Mardi Gras. It is a celebration of Black American culture. And LeBron's like, fellas, this ain't going to be a laughingstock.
Yeah.
We're going to come here and we're going to compete for 2.5 hours. To me, the formatics, the operational adjustments didn't change the game. The game was changed because LeBron said, we're going to play a little bit of defense and compete here.
No, I have to give him credit. He set a huge tone. He had a steal in the first 50 seconds of the game that kind of showed, okay, they're competing a little harder than usual. I also thought that what showed that I don't even mean this, no pun intended, he's kind of the king of the league right now.
Oh, yes.
At the end of the game, you had Kyrie Irving, Russell Westbrook on the floor with LeBron, two of the best point guards in the world. And who's running point? LeBron. I don't even know that they consciously made that decision.
Great point.
But subconsciously, you go to the best player. Now, he let Kyrie run point at times. Obviously, Kyrie gave him the great assist on the game-winning layup. But when LeBron wanted the ball, like when he waited in the backcourt, Kyrie gave him the ball and let LeBron run the point. So you saw the level of deference that two guys who don't defer, Kyrie and Westbrook, have for LeBron. So that was another statement.
By the way,
are you saying he should be the most valuable player this year?
Okay. So you and I are going to struggle with this again. So James Harden's going to win it.
As he should. Come on.
When Harden was on the floor with LeBron yesterday, who felt bigger?
Well, LeBron is bigger and better. Nobody's saying that LeBron's not the best player in the world.
Well, but you're a stats guy.
No, Harden is having more of an impact on his team. Well, his team is having a better season, and his numbers are through the roof than LeBron's team. LeBron played poorly for an entire month.
LeBron was bored with the league.
Okay, maybe whatever the reason, he didn't play up to LeBron James standards for a month.
So now he's a victim of his standards.
LeBron was last in the league in plus minus for 19 straight games. Think about that.
Plus minus is a made-up stat with a guy with a pocket protector. In the 70s, if you went to the Y, you and me went to the Y. Did you and I were like, yo, Broussard, your plus minus is whack.
I knew. I was ahead of my time in the 70s.
Not.
I was one of the few.
That's a goofy baseball stat. I don't give a rip about plus minus.
But look, the team was a mess. And LeBron's the best player in the world. Did Michael Jordan win the MVP every year he was the best player in the world?
And it was ridiculous he didn't. You know what?
But he didn't. So the standard has been set. The precedent has been set. And so we go with the guy who has the best impact that year on his team. LeBron is the most valuable player in the league every year, just in terms of value.
Well, that's what the word is.
He brings the most value to the league.
Yeah.
But it's going to be Harden. Harden's going to get
By the
my
way,
vote,
do you have any?
Unless something changes.
Christine ran into my good friend Russell Westbrook.
Of course.
And did you run into Westbrook? You know, Westbrook, a lot of people think I'm anti-Westbrook, which is outrageous. But Christine ran into, she was at a big hoity-toity Hollywood affair, and she ran into Westbrook. That's where she rolls.
Yes,
did you see Westbrook?
I did not see Westbrook. I saw a lot of other people, but not Westbrook.
All right.
I've run into him before. He knows what you say. Not because he watches.
Did you bring up what
come.
Colin has said about him, or he just brought it up himself?
No, he knew that I was on the show with you.
They did this, Chris. Yeah, I've never seen the show. Hi, Christine Leahy. How are you?
No, well, listen, I have another show, Colin. He does watch American Ninja Warrior.
A lot of people do. It's weird, but a lot of people do.
You don't. You won't even turn the volume up when I'm on the Westminster Dog
I won't watch
Show.
it. It's gymnastics and it's
what?
Crazy.
Dog gymnastics?
No. It's just yeah. All right, Chris. Good seeing you. Good seeing you. Has your company outgrown QuickBooks or shared spreadsheets? Introducing NetSuite by Oracle, the business management software, handles every aspect of your biz. Don't miss out on their guide titled "Crushing the 5 Barriers to Growth." Get your free guide today. NetSuite.com/herd.